I saw a recent interview with Jimmy Fallon, and what is that, Diary of a CEO, that guy?
Yep.
And it's so good. It's so good. And Jimmy just talked about he just kept his head down. When everything happened, he just focused on the work. And people always say that, just focus on the work.
Yeah.
And I think if I could talk to young people, it would be focus on the work and kind of let God take you where you go.
Yep.
Because that's what's going to happen anyways.
Yeah.
You're going to beat your head against the wall trying to get that audition, and if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. But you want to be prepared. You don't
Right.
want to say, okay, I'm not going to prepare
Right.
because I know God's going to do this. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
If you get an opportunity, then you work your butt off to make that happen.
Right.
But some people just don't get the opportunity,
Right.
and then they feel like they're a failure. They feel like because they didn't end up on the radio or because they didn't do, it's not about that. It's about the joy that you emit. It's about the joy that you receive. That's what you were talking about with your mother. The joy that you receive by playing music and what it does for you, and the joy that you give to others. When you forget that, I think you've lost sight of what music is for.
Right.
Yeah.
And so someone like me who I'm not famous, but I have played with famous people, and I've done a lot of wonderful things. It's going back to what you were saying. Now I'm jumping. Going back to what you were saying about it's not a big party. For some it is. They burn out.
Yeah,
they don't make
last
it.
long.
But the ones who last long, I remember when I worked with John Mellencamp and his band. I worked on the show Ghost Brothers of Darkland County. So I was hired to be the copyist. So I took all the guys in the band didn't read, and so I had to take all the notes and put them on score. Otherwise, it would never end up, in London or on Broadway. So I took every note.
You transcribed all the instruments?
Every note.
A bass
Yes.
player's line, the piano player, the
Every
melon.
note.
Oh, wow,
By
that's
ear,
nice.
from ear,
Wow,
from
nice.
ear to the page. And
Nice.
that was kind of the job that kind of came
Hope
after.
you were paid well, because you certainly deserve to be paid well if you could do that.
It paid well, but not enough.
Yeah, never.
By the time you get done, you're like, oh, this was not enough.
yeah.
But it was a great experience. I had just sold my music school, my business, which we can talk about later if you want. But I just sold that, and so it was funny how God works. This kind of flew in, and it was, I use Finale. I'm not, shameless plug for Finale. And so I worked with John's lead music director, Andy York, who's amazing. But when you work with these guys,
Is he the guitar player?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
he kind of a small guy, a shorter
I mean,
fellow?
not to me, but maybe to you.
Well,
okay, so he.
I've seen Mellencamp a few times.
He's always
His-
with him. Yeah, he's-
his bass player, a black guy, played a big red like Fender precision bass.
He always has a different bass player.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I've seen him.
So,
I like
so
John
he
Mellencamp.
had some of the Nashville guys there.
Okay.
But Andy's always with him, and I really learned a lot from Andy. And going back to what you said, it's not a party. Yeah,
Right.
maybe they party, but they are workers. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
never seen such refinement of the score. Such it's kind of like when you do editing.
Yep.
Such over and over and changes and changes and changes. I really learned a lot about refining, right?
Nice.
From that gig. But going back to that, no, it was a lot of work,
Yeah.
and that's not a big party.
Yep.
It was a lot of work.
I